Has one of the greatest concentrations of Art Nouveau architecture in the world, but there is a new showpiece being unveiled this weekend. The Spanish Grand Prix provides the much anticipated first outing of the new Ferrari F2003 GA, named in honour of former Fiat chairman Gianni Agnelli. Rubens can't take his eyes off it. Michael's speechless and the team feel it's their best yet. But is an improvement on last year's car possible?
The new car is lighter, it's got a lower centre of gravity, it's stiffer, and it's got the biggest improvement in aerodynamic performance of any of the cars we've made from one year to the next. So, in one way it's simple, but it's very complicated to make that progress, and it comes about as a result of a stable environment, a stable team, and a lot of very talented people.
Does the prospect of a faster Ferrari worry the opposition?
Come out on a test day, you would be watching a little bit more how it looks, but ultimately we need to see what the performance is in race trim to really know how much better the car is.
We're fairly confident we've seen half a second at most tracks we've tested, sometimes more, but about half a second a lap.
The rise of Fernando Alonso has brought Formula One to the Spanish people. This kind of showing is usually reserved for footballing icons like Roberto Carlos. Since 1992, the pole sitter in Spain has won the championship, but the all-Renault second row poses a major threat to the Ferraris at the front. Renault launch control proves impeccable as Alonso gets right in with the Ferraris. But Barrichello gathers momentum and pushes Schumacher to the limit. Alonso keeps his cool while Trulli and Coulthard lose theirs. And thanks to Pizzonia's faulty electronics, Raikkonen is out of the race. Starting from the back is always a risky business, but forget launch control, Kimi must have pressed self-destruct. The safety car comes out while the debris is cleared. Trulli could have had a podium finish, and now he's furious, while Kimi can't quite believe it. The race restarts. Michael leads Barrichello, Alonso and Ralph. Wheels locked, tyres screeching, Juan Pablo zips past Button for fifth. Barrichello's crusade to keep Fernando back allows Michael to eke out more of an advantage. As his fuel burns off, Alonso can really put Rubens under pressure. He can't get ahead and Michael is stretching his lead, but the pit stops could change all that. Alonso's stop is very quick. He rejoins fifth and has clear track ahead. If he can set some handy lap times, he may be able to leapfrog Rubens. But Coulthard's incident-packed race is over. A tangle with Button leaves him in the gravel and forces Jensen into the pits. Schumacher's stop temporarily elevated Rubens to first. Now it's down to the Ferrari mechanics to keep Barrichello ahead of the local boy. Ferrari are marginally quicker, but is it enough? Fantastic! Alonso takes second place easily. Now it's Rubens who must go on the attack. He's no longer got Barrichello as a safety net, so Michael makes use of the back markers and puts his foot to the floor. The leaders may have just lapped them, but Furman gets an important psychological boost and passes his teammate for 13th. Most teams opt for 3 stops as tyre wear is particularly severe. Michael makes his second and rejoins fourth behind his brother. The Williams is 2-stopping because of the earlier safety car period and is not what Michael needed in front of him. Michael piles the pressure on and seizes his chance. Fortunately for him, Alonso rejoined from his stop behind Ralph Furman, giving the Ferrari some breathing space to build up a lead again. The Jordan proves tough to pass, even though he's being lapped. For all the smiles and youthful charm, there's a fierce fighter in Alonso. He could win this race, and he knows it. It's not been easy, but he's kept up the pressure. And now he finally gets ahead of Ralf Schumacher, who decides to make some changes to the circuit. Montoya has been pretty quiet since his manoeuvre on Button. Now he puts the pressure on his teammate. Another lock-up leaves Ralph vulnerable, and Juan Pablo picks up the rewards. D'Amata pits from a brilliant 4th place. It relegates him to 6th behind Ralf Schumacher. The Toyota is working well for Cristiano as he starts to close on the Williams. He's sticking to Ralph like glue. When Ralph makes a mistake, he nearly gets ahead. The new Ferrari sets the standard, but hasn't been as dominant as many of their rivals feared. For the last 5 years, the new Ferrari has won on its debut. But the hero of the day has to be Fernando Alonso. He moves up to 3rd in the title race. In Spain, motorsport usually means bikes, but today F1 has made its mark, thanks to Alonso's best ever finish. Schumacher has been in the top 6 at every attempt here in Barcelona, and now is only 4 points short of Raikkonen. 2003 rookies D'Amata and Furman scored their first F1 points. It's not just the locals who are impressed by Alonso.
I rate him very good as a race driver. He's a nice person, play soccer together, and I really get on well with him, and I think he's doing a great job.
Ferrari get back into action. It's F1's 25th visit to the Alps, but we could be saying Auf Wiedersehen to the Austrian Grand Prix. Built on the site of the ultra-fast Österreich-Ring, the slippery circuit has changed a lot, but still provides plenty of action in final qualifying. Verstappen suffered a broken gearbox at turn 1. The low grip surface caught Alonso out. Villeneuve drove too aggressively and paid for it, while DC couldn't get to grips with his car. Villeneuve's excursion reduced grip even further for Mark Webber. And even Michael Schumacher got caught out at turn 2. McLaren couldn't believe their luck. Surely pole belonged to Raikkonen. But this is Michael Schumacher in command of the F2003 GA, demonstrating just why he's the best, and securing his 54th career pole, ahead of Kimi and Montoya. The tranquil Styrian Mountains may be the birthplace of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it is 20 Formula One cars that provide the heavyweight action on Sunday afternoon. The race hasn't even started and there's drama already. McLaren opt to fix Raikkonen's car on the grid instead of changing his engine and making him start from the pit lane like Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso. After 2 false starts due to D'Amata's faulty launch control, it's 3rd time lucky and they're away. Montoya's fast and steals 2nd from Raikkonen. Kimi's in danger of losing 3rd to Barrichello, while Trulli is side by side with Heidfeld. There are no problems into the Castrol curve, so Alonso and Webber are given the all-clear. Schumacher stretches his lead at the front, while Trulli, Heidfeld and Pitsonia fight over 5th. Button joins in the scrap, but it's Heidfeld who takes control. Schumacher and Montoya start to pull away from Kimi, whilst Pitsonia shows he can overtake and muscles past Trulli for 6th. Launch control hasn't got Verstappen very far. The safety car comes out and the stricken Minardi is quickly retrieved from the pit straight. Montoya is always good on a restart and Michael knows it. He wants to get the best chance, but Juan Pablo is not impressed. Team orders are banned this year, but it doesn't look like Michael will need them. Jaguar's gamble with strategy did not pay off. The team refueled Webber before the 2nd formation lap. As the first 2 starts were annulled, they broke Parc Fermé rules, resulting in a 10-second stop-go penalty. Barrichello changes his worn Bridgestones for more worn Bridgestones. But there's a problem with his fuel ring. The mechanics have had to use the spare. Ferrari get back into action. They know their number one is due to stop shortly. The team have collected their thoughts and keep their fingers crossed that this rig does not fail. Failing isn't a problem, but fire certainly is. Droplets of fuel make contact with the engine cover and ignite. There's no panic. The mechanics reach for the fire extinguishers and douse the flames. Only time will tell if he has enough fuel on board. Michael's away with a quick wipe of the visor, leaving the mechanics to clean up. The barbecue takes away his advantage, but he's hot on the heels of Kimi in no time at all. Michael uses his engine's brawn to make the move. While Williams' change in fortunes just isn't meant to be. A water leak terminates Juan Pablo's chance of victory. Mario Tyson of BMW awaits the debrief, while Montoya crawls back to the garage. Alonso's heavy one-stop strategy made passing difficult in the early stages, but he's made his way up to 5th behind Button from the back of the field. Pitsonia gets a chance to prove his credentials, forcing 9th placed Fisichella on the defensive. Giancarlo comes back at him, but Antonio does not back off. Pitsonia looks to be on course for a points finish at last. But a 100% race reliability record is ruined for Alonso when the spare car lets him down. His second engine failure leaves him in a spin down at turn 1. The oil left from the Renault and moisture from an earlier shower catch out Schumacher. A ray of hope for everyone else. Despite Montoya's problem, Ralph has recovered lost ground even after several mistakes. But his third set of tyres are graining badly and he's struggling with the balance of the car, allowing Button and Coulthard to power through. After getting a taste for overtaking, Pitsonia fancies his chances with another Italian. A fuel system problem leaves Fisichella wondering just when things will go right. Rubens has battled a cold all weekend, and now he's fighting to outdo Kimi for second. Even with an ailing engine, Raikkonen shows his championship might. Through rain, oil and flames, Michael Schumacher still comes out on top. 3 wins in the last 3 races. Surely win number 67 is one of his most extraordinary. Ralph kept it on the track till the end, ensuring he's the only man to finish every race in the points this season. Jenson Button narrowly missed out on a podium to take 4th, equalling his career best. Full marks for Michael edge him closer to Kimi in the championship with a 4-way battle for 3rd. McLaren are only a point behind Ferrari, while Williams and Renault go head-to-head. But what about that pit stop?
Well, I don't think there's much to say. Everything has been shown on TV, I guess, and I guess the mechanics felt I was a little bit too cold and cool and wanted to warm me up.